How would you feel if a foreign national had just a little bit of influence in a Canadian election? What if they donated just a few bucks to a political campaign? Now, bear with me, this might seem impossible, but what if a foreign national actually ran for office? Well, that's exactly what an Antifa supporter, an advisory board member of the socialist blog Progress Alberta, did. Nimra Amjad, a Pakistani national living in Canada who is involved with the communist group Antifa, had been charged with 2 counts of violating the Local Authorities Election Act when she ran as a non-citizen. Amjad was a candidate during the 2017 Alberta municipal election, securing 17% of the vote in her district. The election that Amjad illegally participated in had 4 candidates. Amjad finished with 5,707 votes, while the 3 Canadians running against her all finished within 1,400 votes of each other, well within the number of votes Amjad stole. The Rebel received a tip regarding this story from a viewer, so we went to the Calgary Court Centre to retrieve the documents regarding the Pakistani expat's participation in a Canadian election. We left with this document confirming that a foreign national was in fact charged with 2 counts of violating Section 148-4 and Section 151 of the Local Authorities Election Act. Why would someone so brazenly break the law? Well, Amjad told reporters that her, quote, handlers told her it would be fine. Who were her handlers? Was it Progress Alberta? Was it Antifa? That remains a mystery. At her sentencing, the judge fined her $1,000, but gave her a pat on the back, congratulating her for participating in politics. After learning that, I had to rewind. A judge said, "I know you broke the law, but at least you tried." Well, she sure has tried hard. Amjad has gone through the globalist circuit, representing Canada as a foreign national at the UN, the G7, the World Economic Forum. She was a panelist at a Public Interest Alberta conference and even represented Canadian youth at the G7 summit. Keep in mind, this is a middle-aged foreign expat. I didn't think it could get much worse, and then it did. Amjad spoke at what she claims to be one of the largest UN events in history, representing Canada again while, quote, coordinating with the delegation from her motherland. I don't think I need to spell out the problem here. What confuses the situation even more is that when this foreign national was in the midst of running her campaign, a fake Facebook account was created, made under an incorrect spelling of one of her secret ex-lovers, allegedly sent her direct messages involving hateful comments. The mainstream media ate that one up, as I'm sure you'd expect, posting story after story about it. Amjad brought camera crews into her own home.
For the most part, Amjad says she's felt support.
I know that this doesn't represent the majority of Calgarians or Canadians. This doesn't at all represent my experience in Calgary.
There's no doubt the threats have shaken her, but she's decided she must push on with her campaign.
However, when the Calgary Police Hate Crime Unit got involved, Amjad became silent, avoiding the police, and wouldn't provide a statement. The police dismissed the case after Amjad changed her story and the facts multiple times in interviews with CBC's Megan Grant. After the dismissal of the case, Amjad appealed to the state broadcaster CBC to strike from the public record the stories related to the alleged hate crime. Why would she do that? Why would she not talk to the police? If someone threatened your life, wouldn't you want them brought to justice? As would be expected in this day and age, it did not matter what the truth was. The ex-boyfriend was fired from his job. It didn't matter if he was involved or not. He was just blindsided. Amjad has been a campaign supporter of Drew Farrell and Rachel Notley, and it appears that she's friends with Calgary Mayor Naheed Nenshi's advisor, Brian Singh. This makes sense given Singh was a board member with Amjad on the Progress Alberta Board of Advisors. Could he be Amjad's handler that told her to run in a Canadian election even without citizenship? We simply cannot say, as Amjad has not responded to the Rebel. We sent Amjad a list of questions. She directed us to her lawyer without telling us who that is, and we haven't heard a peep since. We explicitly asked her if she has ever voted in a Canadian election, yet no response. If she was innocent, wouldn't she want to volunteer that information? She certainly seems to know what she's doing. Even if she was a political science nerd, she would know that if she has voted in a Canadian election as a foreign national, she would be in violation of Section 148-3 of the Local Authorities Election Act, and it could carry a prison sentence of up to 6 months and a fine of $10,000. The problem is she will not come clean and answer our questions, so we're going to have to do the heavy lifting. We will be submitting a Freedom of Information request to the Calgary Elections Authority to gain access to the voters list and determine if she did or did not vote for herself. If someone has the gall to run in an election illegally, you'd think that they would vote for themselves too, right? She had a citizenship application pending. Perhaps she thought that if it came through before Election Day, she would be in the clear. There's just no way of knowing. We've contacted the Office of Progress Alberta, their staff, Amjad herself, her opponents in the election, and, well, we just can't get a straight answer. Since Amjad's illegal bid for elected office, and even after being charged with 2 counts of breaking electoral law, Amjad has been granted Canadian citizenship by the feds. This is Cian Bexty for The Rebel. Thanks for watching, folks. If you liked this video and want to see more coverage like it, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to The Rebel for future updates. And be sure to share it with your friends, family, and colleagues, because I'm sure they'll want to see it too.